That doesn't sound great. Trunk just fell on my head while I was trying to do this. A lesson learned from the Range Rover, I'm not using a pressure washer this time. I can't believe I just did that again. All right, now that we've tackled the cosmetics and the buying process, let's get into the mechanicals. I want to make sure this 90,000 mile, $14,000 Maserati can hang with me as long as I can. So we're going to start with basics that any new car owner should do when they get a car. Oil change, air filter, cabin filter, and so on. I know it needs new tires. The window regulator's not working and it crunches and doesn't go up and down. And then the PPI I got before I bought it also noted a few other things like the hood and trunk struts that'll be easy fixes, as well as the belts are cracked. So we're going to look into that. But nonetheless, let's dig in. Let's see how we did. And then let's get her ready for the next adventure. Stay tuned. Thanks for checking it out. Episode 3, let's go. Follow along as we restore this $14,000 Maserati to its former glory and sell it live on Cars and Bids with no reserve. First breakdown on day 1, the window went down. It made a cool crunching noise and it won't come back up. So time to take the door card off. Here's the first bolt. We're gonna see what it is, but it looks like there's a $35 window regulator repair kit on eBay, and this is a very common issue. So the seller did not disclose this. I think they took it apart because everything's loose and shoved the window up and figured it would be my problem. Thanks to a lovely bloke from the UK, we got the door card off. It's all over there. And temporary fix, I will just roll the window up like this using my hands so that I don't really have to worry about it. That's fun, as you can tell. There's a whole mess of cables back here. Like, this shouldn't be loose. This is a window regulator cable. So I just bought the repair kit for 35 bucks on eBay. When it gets here, we'll see how terrible that is to install back there and put it back together. 3 days later. And here's the broken window regulator. You can see totally snapped over here and just not in good condition, so we're gonna use the kit. And I won't bore everyone with the step-by-step because there's a great YouTube video you can see right here on how to do it, but we're just disassembling, replacing parts, and putting it back together. All right, I think it's all rebuilt. That was a huge pain, about 2 hours. All right, moment of truth after 3 hours on the ground. All right, it's not doing anything. Did I not plug it in? Gosh darn it. Must have had something unplugged. That doesn't sound great, but oh boy. Something's a little fishy. All right, keep playing with it. I can't tell you how many times I've reassembled this and it's like my white whale where I can't catch it, but I think this one will work. And maybe gets hung up all the way down, all the way up. Oh, that feels so good. That's a new noise. Check power steering, go to dealer. Oh. All right, all that heartache was from right here. Just cracked open and let the wire slip out, and then that's all it took for my windows to no longer work. Screw you, plug. All right, and the trunk struts are weak. They still work, but when you pop up the trunk like this, basically, it doesn't come up on its own. You gotta lift it. The PPI shop said this would be $1,300 to fix, so let's figure out how tricky this actually is. Should be able to just pop this off. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. That would be a real test for how easy it is. You just loosen this like that. All right, I'm gonna need 2 hands, 1 second. All right, maybe it's not super easy. Trunk just fell on my head while I was trying to do this. Wow, that was easy. Now for the real test. Not really that big of a benefit, but it's fixed. All right, next I'm going to replace the air filters, but it's so dirty in here. I'm gonna start with just cleaning off these engine covers a little bit. Ta-da! Holy moly. Dude, look at how dirty this thing is. All right, after getting that engine cover off, this thing is filthy in here. So I'm gonna detail the engine bay, just anything to get the dirt out, but let's get the air filter replaced first. All right, not only is this super dirty, but getting in here, that engine air filter, I mean, you could just see that this does not look good. There's some stuff in there too. I guess not terrible, although it's literally falling apart. So let's get the new product out. we're gonna clean in there first, but $20, I think this is pretty a good maintenance item here before and afterwards. All right, it's back on there and cleaned up a little bit anyway. Still has a ways to go, but pleased with it. So maybe I'll pull it out, hit it with the hose before I put the engine cover back on. All right, and a lesson learned from the Range Rover, I'm not using a pressure washer this time so that I can't blast anything into the crevices where they were, just a little light agitation. It also helps that the fuse box is not out here and too easy to get wet, but just gonna rinse it out. Then I'm gonna blow dry it with a leaf blower so that I also just don't have to worry about anything staying in there too long. So hopefully this time my engine detailing supplies doesn't cause literally weeks of agony. God, that was a beautiful car. We're all set. I can't believe I just did that again. The engine's not happy. Check engine light. Darn it. All right, I cleared the codes and I've been driving about 10 miles. Excuse the flickering there, but check engine light's gone. So I think something just got wet, didn't like it, it burned off. No P38 redo here with the washing the engine bay. I'm not sure I'm gonna do that again though. That wasn't really worth the scare. And to start to do a slew of the deferred maintenance here, new cabin filter, old one. So maybe it'll make it smell better. Funny enough, there wasn't a cabin filter at all installed. The old one was in the trunk and then the new one I bought on Amazon. So now we'll have something. All right, first oil change on her. So I don't know when it was last done. Woo! Looks dirty, but it doesn't look bad. Then I'm gonna sneak in Blackstone again.
Eventually.
Oil change complete. That was messier than I wanted, but it's done, and it was $30 for the oil filter, about $100 in oil, so let's call it $130. Would have been about $400 or $500 from an Indy. So guess it saved money. Also, I learned I have a Larini X pipe installed, so not disclosed by the seller. Huge value add. I thought it sounded really good and maybe like slightly louder than I expected, so definite score there. I did find a hell of a lot more dirt though. Look at that. This car, the advantage of Southern owned cars is no rust like my Range Rover, but holy heck is there a lot of dirt. All right, cold start time with the Larini X pipe. Not too shabby. One thing that came back on the post-purchase inspection was this thing being cracked, and I'm about to go on a 1,000-mile road trip in the desert, so we're going to go ahead and replace this. Seems like it should be straightforward. Just clip, clip, unscrew, and then we have the new part right here with the cool box. One thing you learn with enough DIYs is sometimes having the right tools really helps. So this is it. I got it to extract oil, but we're gonna use it to extract the coolant here, and it's gonna be really hard to film this. Let's see. It's cool once it starts siphoning. It kind of just, I think I got most of it out. We'll do a couple more pumps. Looks like we pulled out about that much fluid, so pretty decent amount not to go in the garage floor. There's the cover, which was the most time-consuming part so far. Goes in real easy, and then the clamps are one-time use, so I have a whole box here of reusable ones, and we'll just replace the non-reusable ones with reusable ones, put the fluid back in, and we're done. All right, all buttoned up there, pretty easy. Nice new plastic, but we are all done with our checklist before the challenge, so let's go. I just gotta take one more second to appreciate how good these cars look. They were both foam washed and looking 04-ish rich here. I love, love, love the blue, and the Mercy cleans up so nicely. It's actually the first water wash I've given in over a year. I usually just use like the spray detailer stuff, but it was dirty after a long drive, and it does shine up nicely when you do that. But blue Mediterraneo, silver wheels. This is an Italian match made in heaven here. I think I might be peaking here in terms of my automotive acquisitions. All right, so to recap everything we've done here, we did air filter, cabin filter, oil change, coolant expansion tank. We did the X-pipe muffler exhaust. We're gonna do belts when we get back, but those are cracked but not dangerous. We did the window regulator. We did a whole bunch of stuff. So I think all the mechanical fixes / deferred maintenance is pretty much caught up at this point. Famous last words, but she's sorted. So I think we've got ourselves a pretty solid candidate.